People, for those that can show your face. Yeah! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just helps me with my energy. Plus, if I get a full screen, I like to take a little picture to send it to my marketing director. So, welcome! Welcome to February, our monthly group coaching lesson. Welcome to any new coaching clients or guests in the house. I opened this one up for free to anybody in my database. And I don't do that very often. I do that like twice a year. So, a little housekeeping. I always like to start with housekeeping. It's a perfect way to start as people are logging in. So I am just gonna, yes, I'm from Wisconsin. I'm gonna. All right. Let me just first put in the chat, and these will also be in the follow-up. So first one in the chat is YouTube channel, which has all of the recordings. YouTube channel, which has all of 2025 recordings. I went back and listened to one recently. I was like, man, that was good. I think it was like 10 disciplines. It was something about discipline. It was a good one. That might be one to go back to. Um, let's see. So that's the YouTube channel. Next up, and oh, by the way, when you're in the chat, if you just click on the link, it should open up on your computer a little tab so you can go back to it later, right? So all the links I give you, then they'll be there when we hang up. Next up, we have this month, every month, usually the first Friday of the month, I have my For the Love of Self masterclass, free masterclass. And that is what I'm calling it now. I'm over the Balanced Entrepreneurial Masterclass. I'm just calling it Flow Self Masterclass. All right, so a little bit about this, a little update. The theme for this month, because it's the month of love, the theme for this month, besides me talking about the entire Flow Self system, but the theme is going to be the 7 relationship tips that I have for you personally and professional. Ways, I would say I'm calling them ways that you can improve communication personally and professionally. Personally and professionally. And then as always, if we go to Flow, FLOSELF, book.com, that will take you to where you can get For the Love of Self journal, which is a whole system, you guys. So it's evolving. This is the year of like putting it all together. So now I have the Flow self-assessment or For the Love of Self assessment, which okay, I don't know if Savannah's on here. So I have no patience. So maybe it's because my number one love language is gifts. I not only do I like getting gifts, I like giving gifts. And so much about my business is gifts, all these free downloads and all these things. I tend to sometimes give them before them I've run them past anybody. Michelle, do you remember you sent me an email? You're like, girlfriend, you got like 17 typos in here. I'm like, okay,
All good. All good.
so
That's my that's my superpower. Check those out.
so I get really excited. So when I this year revamped the For the Love of Self assessment, I shared it with you guys, and then I went and gave it to my marketing director, and she's like, What is this?" So what started out as 17 pages is actually now 31, and it's a full-on workbook. So I'm pretty sure we're really, really, really done with it. For all of you that have been in my world, it has pretty much it has the same stuff. It's just a little bit outlined a little bit better. The goal is eventually that will be an online assessment that you can take. So the dream, I'm sure I'll share it with you before the link works. The dream will be the assessment. Then it will be the master class that you can come to every month. And then there's the Flow Self Journal. It's the whole system for your life. Yes. So that's what it's going to all look like, just to give you an idea. All right. Then this is for any of my coaching clients I'm putting this in the link. If you are already a coaching client, I just put in the link a little form. Some of you I got it back from, some of you it didn't. It's just me taking a little check-in on what you've experienced so far and what you're looking for this year. So take a little time, fill that out. And I'm not going to lie, it's also where I create testimonials because the first question that I ask is, where have you experienced transformation? And then we take that, and now I'm not just making stuff up because you told me. So that's what that one's for. And then let's see. Can you give me a thumbs up, ladies in the house, especially if you've been part of the For the Love of Self masterclass, or you have the workbook, or you have the 7-day reset, or you have the journal? Did you do your weekly setup? Anybody do their weekly setup? Yeah. Yeah. And guys, when we do this, it's either this, maybe you're like, sort of, or maybe you're like, what is she talking about? It's okay. There's no judgment. That's to create purpose, to create purpose. And I like to just do a little check-in. All right. Now, I think this is our last housekeeping. Next up, I'm putting in the chat the Women's Leadership Conference that I am going to be speaking at on March 6th. It's an all-day conference from 8:30 to 4:30. It is just that. It is for women leaders, which we're all leaders. Own your own business, whatever it might be. We're leaders. Hello, that's why we're here. So it's all day. It's at the Pfister. Feel free to join me. So I put the link. This is sponsored by UWM Continuing Ed. There is usually 500 women that are there. It is unbelievable. And their keynotes, oh, I don't remember who they are. When you click on there, I just know they're cool. They're really cool people, way smarter than me. Okay. As you know, with that, just please do keep me in mind. My goal is to speak twice a month. So if you know anybody, conferences, nonprofits, networking groups are great. I'm super excited. I have a group that I'm going to be speaking with. They have like 100 people in their group. It's a whole new industry. It's the something catering industry. Didn't even know there was such a thing. It's going to be super cool. So that's going to be a fun one coming up. So live or virtual. All right, so here we go. We're going to get to work. We're going to get to work. Okay, let me just first introduce myself because we might have some new people here. So my name is Kim Maragany, and I am the owner and founder of Flow, which stands for the love of. And what do I do? I'm really working on this, and you guys kind of help me on this. So I help women, and yes, there might be men here too, but usually it's women. 99% of those that I coach are women. I help women get their life systematized so time, energy, and fun aren't always last on the list. That's what I do. How do we do it? With my For the Love of Self system, which is, like I said, the Flow self-assessment. We've got the masterclass on Fridays, and then my journal, which is a system. It's more than a journal. And then I do that through my coaching and speaking. And so my number one goal is I want to make sure that you leave here feeling inspired, empowered, and most of all, promote action. Because now we're going to get into action. If you don't have a piece of paper, you want one with you now, because you're going to write, or you're going to pretend you're going to write. Either way, I could keep your faces here, right? If you just sit here and stare at me like this, I know you're not writing. So just pretend, doodle, make a grocery list if you don't like the questions I ask. But this is your time. This is for you, right? Like once a month, we come here to do this part, unless you're actually part of my group coaching or my one-on-one. So we're going to do a little check-in. You guys set goals at the beginning of the year. Hello, it's February. So whatever your goal was, I don't care if it's personal or professional, whatever, I want you to write it down. I want you to have a relationship with your goal. If you created a GPS with me, you know that's your goal, which is a metric. If we're talking about our business, we're talking about what is your income that you set as a goal at the beginning of the year. Maybe it's the number of units you wanted to sell. If you sell t-shirts, I don't know. What is it? You had a goal that you set at the beginning of the year and we're 1 month into it. So we're going to write it down. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to write down, where are you at? Where are you at? We are creating awareness. We're having a relationship with our goals. Okay? Now, here's what I want you to do next. I want you to think about that. 3 things either happened in the month of January. Only 3. 1, you either crushed your January goal. You're like, crushed it, right? We crushed it. Um, or you were average, you did okay. You're like, okay, I did good, but I know I'm capable of more. That's two. Or three, you bombed. Okay. So right next to your awareness on where you're at on your goal, write one, two, or three. One, you crushed it. Two, you were okay with it, but you could do a little bit more. Or three, you bombed. There's no judgment. Okay. This is just reality. This is just where you are. It's a beautiful thing. Here we are, it's February. You know what's really cool about February? You actually have fully 4 weeks. If you look at the calendar of February, Sunday through Saturday, it's 4 full weeks. Four in exactly a week. You don't even need to think about what you're going to do with the spare day. It's kind of cool. It's all nice and clean so that you can really look at it and be like, okay, here's how many days I'm working. Here's what I'm going to do differently. Okay. All right. Now, if you've been in my coaching world for a while, some of us pick a word of the year. This is again, we want to have a relationship with that word. Why don't you put the word in the chat? Type your word in the chat. I'll type mine in the chat too. This is where we're getting into action. We got light, anchor, steady, exponential, cultivate. Yes, becoming, strong. I love it. I love it. I love it. Intentional. Nice, nice, nice. If you don't have a word of the year, that's something that you could consider. It's just a guiding light and kind of helps you decide at the end or at the beginning of each month what that means to you. So I want you to think about the month of February and what that word that you just typed in there means to you. And if we think about the whole entire For the Love of Self, 12 areas, we're now talking about 12 areas. Feel free to write these down as a little memory jogger, right? It doesn't mean everything is being, getting 100% in February. It's more just to have you think, where am I at? Where am I going? So when we talk about our 12 areas, our first one is our emotional mindset health, our brain health, how we think, that type of stuff, emotional mindset health. Our second one is our physical health. Our third one is family, whether that's immediate, extended, whatever that means to you, family. Our fourth one is friends and social circles, Then we have our fifth one is you. Our sixth one is our spouse or partner, if that's something we have in our life, spouse or partner. Our seventh one is mission work. Our eighth one is finances and freedom. New addition for anybody who's new in the house. I added the word freedom after it. So that's really what finances are about. Our ninth one is adventures or hobbies or creative expression. Adventures, hobbies, creative expression. Adventures, hobbies, creative expression. 10th one is spirituality. And our newest additions are 11 is giving. And 12 is environment. So we have I'm going to read them real quick, and then I'm going to ask you a couple questions as you move into the month of February. Emotional mindset health, our physical health, family, friends and social circles, you, spouse or partner, mission work, fitness and freedom, adventure, hobbies, creative expression, spirituality, giving, and environment. So when you think about the goal that you wrote, we're tying this all together, right? And you're thinking about where you're at and how you felt about it, your word of the year, and then these areas, and whatever you're going to concentrate in the month of February, where you have 4 full weeks, our 3 questions that we like to usually ask are we ready? There are continue, stop, start. So what will you continue to do in the month of February? You guys are already doing some amazing things. It doesn't need to be huge. It could be, I'm going to continue to do my weekly setup. I'm going to continue to show up for coaching. I'm going to continue to wake up before 6 a.m., right? What are you going to continue to do when you think about your goals and your word and your areas of your life on the things that you're already doing right? What are you going to continue to do in the month of February? Okay. The next one is, what will you stop doing in the month of February? What will you stop doing in the month of February? Stop checking my email unless it's on my schedule. Maybe it's stop having a second helping. Or I'm going to stop drinking on school nights if health is important to you. Stop spending money. Maybe financial and freedom is important. Maybe you're going to stop spending money on buying lunch and instead pack your lunch. Ooh, that hits a couple circles. That would be financial and health. So, what will you stop doing? And then the third question is, what will you start doing? What will you start doing in the month of February? What will you start doing? So we have our continue, our stop, and our start. Our continue, our stop, and our start. Okay. Now, I'm going to read you guys something. This is what I was reading during my reflection time today. Out of this very, very marked up book. Like, why do I even put sticky notes on it? Just read the thing again, because apparently these are going to help me. Okay. All right. So this is from my book, High Performance Habits. As you guys know, most of you, or if you don't, I'm a certified high performance coach. And so I have coaching myself multiple times per week from Brendon Burchard. I've got certification that I pay for every year and all certain things that happen and a lot of tools that I get. And so I'm just going to read something and I'm going to actually read it twice to you. Okay. The first time that I read it to you, I want you to think about your personal world. This is the month of love. Well, that's at least what I call it, right? It's the month of Hallmark cards, whatever. And whether you celebrate with your loved ones or not, I mean, why not? Your clients, you're like, let's spread the love. Like, let's be honest here. Could we not all use a little bit more love in today's world? Right? Whether that's loving yourself, whether that's loving your friends, whether that's loving your spouse or partner, whether that's loving your clients or your staff members, like spread the love this month. Tell the people who are in your world how much you appreciate and love them. They need to hear that right now. So when I read this section, I want you to think about your personal world. We're going to first start with personal, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to have you think about your work world. And then I'm going to give you some prompts and some examples of things that I'm working on. Okay, so just listen and think about your personal world and how this resonates with you in the month of love. A person fails to achieve the next level of success because they choose to strive in silence. I'm just going to pause for a second. When we say the word success, it's whatever it means to you. A strong marriage, whatever it might be, a deeper relationship with my family members, again, or my friends. So we're talking about personal, okay? A person fails to achieve the next level of success because they choose to strive in silence. They don't want to share or speak up. They're trying to be appropriate, realistic, level-headed. They're trying to make others happy and comfortable. And so they have these brilliant ideas, and not only do they not share them, they make the most lethal mistake of all. They don't ask for help, or for me, I think, or they don't even just share. If you don't ask for help or share, the right people can't come into your life. So if the universe isn't giving you what you want, perhaps it's because all your distractions and silence, the universe just doesn't know what you're asking for. How can, if we're thinking about our personal life, whatever that might be, personally, how does anybody in your personal life even know what you want if you're living in silence or you're worried about what they'll think? Okay. So I'm going to give you some prompts to think about this. Sometimes we need prompts when we're like, what do I even really want? Or what would I really want to share with somebody personally in my personal life? Then we're going to come back and I'm going to reread it and you're going to think about your business world. So the prompts are, and I'll make sure to put these in the follow-ups as well, because you might need a little bit more time. Something I really want to do that I haven't shared enough. Something that I really want to do that I haven't shared enough, or I haven't shared at all, or I'm just like overthinking it. And I'm like thinking someone's going to be able to read my mind when they can't. If I were going to be more me in my everyday personal life, I would start to. It's kind of like a little bit what we talked about in the start, but you may have chosen something else in that area that's business related. But if I were going to be more me in my everyday life, I would start to. And we change and we evolve. I mean, I think our cells in our body, if I remember when I was reading correctly, regenerate and are completely new every 7 years or something like that. I don't know. Would need to double check that with ChatGPT. Or if somebody's on their computer, they should check. But I think it's something like that. So I also feel like we evolve every 7 to 10 years. We change. So maybe you need to now ask yourself, who am I and what do I need right now? When I put myself out there and someone makes fun of me or I feel like I'm judging myself, I'm just going to. Like, are you afraid to ask? Are you afraid to share? Well, what are you going to do differently? Okay. And then a major dream I'm going to start telling people about. And again, right now we're talking about personal and asking for some help with is there somebody in your world, right? And you get to decide of these prompts, like which one resonates with you. Like personally, it's the month of love. And I'm going to go and I'm going to love myself. And I want to build a deeper relationship with the people in my world personally, but I can't assume they even know what I want. So what is it that I need to share? Okay, so I'm going to give two examples in this area for me personally that I recently approached my husband about. And then we'll come back and we'll read the business one and I'll share an example in that area. So the two examples that I have, all this, and the reason I share examples is because I'm a real human too. Sometimes when we get on here, I don't got it all going on either. So everything that I coach to and I teach to, I'm always testing and figuring out on my own as well. So Allison Maris, you actually inspired me on this because she had done a hiking challenge last year. I don't remember when it was. I don't remember you did your little hiking thing. And I was really thinking about myself when I was setting my goals this year, and I was like, what do I really like to do today, now? And what could I do with my husband, right? Which after you've been married this many years, you're like, honestly, sometimes I'm excited when I have my alone time and I'm not with him more than I am sometimes when I'm with him. Let's be real. So I'm super excited. Like he's on ski patrol at Ospel. Like he's not going to be here tonight. I'm like, yeah, baby. Right? And that's what happens when you're an empty nester. And I was thinking back to all of the trips that we took in our life, and I was like, which one did I like the most? And one of them was when we were in Arizona a couple years back. It was after my skiing accident, after I felt like I needed to prove to myself that I could still like hike. And so we went hiking, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I love to hike. So we signed up for the Hikers 365 adventure. So I don't know, Allison, when you did yours, did you get a patch too? I got a patch. Plus, yes, I'm a kindergartner and I love patches. I got a patch and a sticker. And of course, I paid extra for the hiking journal. Duh. Why wouldn't I? Even though I could write my hikes in any journal. So we are going to be doing this, where the whole goal is that you hike 365 miles in 12 months. We haven't started yet, but as soon as you start counting it. Clearly, you're not doing a mile every day. You're usually doing 5 and then 10 or whatever. So I shared this with him. I did all of it though. So I wasn't angry at him because he didn't come up with it. Because I mean, I don't know. Men's brains are always boys' brains. He just didn't think of anything. I did. And I just have to be okay with it. But when I shared it with him and I gave it to him, he loved it. He's already started planning our first hiking trip that's going to take place in Arkansas or something. He's like, yeah, and then we could go hiking. I was like, yeah, we can. But I had to share it with him. That was one. My second one, which some of you have heard already who are in my coaching world, is it is so important to me to eat healthy meals at home. It really, truly is. It's something that I like whole foods. I like organic. I like to make all these things. And I'm doing all the work all the time, the prepping. Every Sunday for the last couple of years, I've been cutting all the veggies, all the prep. I like to prep because I don't have time. And I was like, why the frick am I doing this myself? Like, why are we not in the kitchen together? Like, we're not hauling around kids anymore on Sunday to activities. And he's just sitting there doing his thing, and I'm getting all angry about ready to chop his head off, but I never even asked for help. So I made him listen to a podcast about meal prep. If you want that, let me know. It's so good. Did anybody listen to that yet? To those that I shared it with? It's so good if meal prep is important to you. It's not about like what to put in the Ziploc bag. It's just little tips and ideas on how to make your life easier with meal prep. And I sent him the podcast, had him listen to it, and he did. And so we're working on that. He hasn't been home the last 2 Sundays, so it hasn't quite worked, but it will. Trust me. Okay? It's gonna work, damn it. Because I'm not giving in this patch unless he also meal preps with me. Point is, I had to share it with him. These aren't huge. I didn't try to change everything. They're actually pretty teeny tiny. So when you're thinking about your personal world, whether it's your children or your spouse or friends or whatever, just start small. It doesn't need to be huge. Okay? Now, I'm going to reread this statement and I want you to think about your business world. I want you to think about your business world. Okay? A successful person fails to achieve the next level of success, we'll say in their business, because they choose to strive in silence. They don't want to share or speak up. Oh, I don't want to call my past clients. Never heard that one before. I don't want to follow up. I'm going to be a pain in the butt. They're trying to be appropriate, realistic, level-headed. They're trying to make others happy or comfortable. Doesn't mean you need to be a jerk, but is there something on your mind? Because nobody can read your mind. Okay. And so they have these brilliant ideas, and not only do they not share them, they make the most lethal mistake of all. They don't ask for help. Are you on a team? Are you trying to do it all? Do you need to ask for help? If you don't ask for help, the right people can't come into your life. So if the universe isn't giving you what you want, perhaps it's because your distractions and silence, the universe doesn't know what you're asking for. Ladies, ladies, I think sometimes we're the worst at asking for help. So think about that in your business. Think about, especially if you're in sales, who's in sales here? Who makes follow-up calls, sales calls? Oh, you all do. Perfect. Okay. Have you ever been in your mind where like you knew you needed to follow up with somebody, either A, their name fell through the crack because you're disorganized. That doesn't ever happen. Or B, their name popped up and you're like, oh, no, I don't know. I sent him an email last week. Who even knows if they got the email? Like, hello, right? We think we're following up too much. You're actually not. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to share 2 examples. And then I'm going to read the prompts for you. 1, and maybe you already heard me say this, but I'm sharing it again because you need to hear it. I'm buying a house this year. That means I need to get a mortgage because I ain't a millionaire. Okay? Right? I don't have cash. Right? I don't have anybody who left me a bunch of money when they passed away. I got to get a mortgage. Okay? I have now, some of you know who these people are. I've had 3 lenders. Okay, so I had my first lender who didn't follow up with me at all personally when the appraisal came back. 20,000 under asking. I took care of it myself, and he's still not checked in, even though I have moved into temporary housing and I'm renting right now, and it sucks. Okay? It's a beautiful place, don't get me wrong, but I'm an owner. I'm not a renter. That's one. So then I got a referral to somebody else. They reached out to me. It was right before the holidays. I got a DM. Haven't heard from them since. You guys, I am ready to buy and I do not have a contingent sale. And my credit score is like 800, I think. Maybe it's 759. I don't know. I think that's a good credit score. Okay? All right, then I got an introduction to a third lender. Okay? I got an email. Never heard from him. My point is why I'm sharing this story is it's not judgment on these lenders because all three of them are very successful lenders. I just think sometimes, especially when we're in sales, we think that we are following up too much. And so I'm analyzing this right now, right? And keep in mind, I am in the real estate space. What is happening here? I'm sorry. So this is me getting a little bit on my soapbox. You have to trust me on this. The people that have reached out to you need to hear from you, and they need to hear from you more than what you realize because they're not thinking about you unless they're me. Like I'm thinking about my people because I'm analyzing sales and the lessons that I can bring. But they're not thinking about you. They're worrying about their meal prep. They're worrying about taking their kids places. They maybe are going on vacation. Like if you have people that need your help because you do a great service, that is on you to reach out to them until they say stop. I'm not saying you need to be an annoying jerk, but I'm telling you this right now, unless you've signed up accidentally for Orange Theory and you receive all their emails and their phone calls and their texts and they're relentless until you act like Orange Theory, you need to do that, right? Okay? So guess what? I reached out to a fourth lender now. I picked him though. I picked him the way that he showed up at a client event that I recently went to. And I told him, there is something wrong with your industry. He's like, I know. I'm like, this is ridiculous. How much business are you leaving on the table because your fear is reaching back out? It's crazy. So when I read this morning, I read it two different ways. I thought, what am I doing right now? What am I doing in my own business? Because you want to know what? I've become a little bit complacent. So when I first started my business, I'm going on my fourth year. So we'll say 3 years ago in January of 2022, right? 2023. The month of January of 2023, I made 36, I remember I had a spreadsheet, reach outs to people that I knew about coaching. And I think of those 36, I had like 21 consultations, right? A lot. And I very quickly built my business. Have I done that since? No. So I had a little realization with myself, and I was reading this prompt. I was like, something I really want to do that I haven't shared with enough people is, well, how can I change lives and help people in these 12 areas, emotional, physical, family, mission, finances, unless I reach out and ask them if they're part of coaching? And I've gotten really busy in the work and the creation and all of that, right? And my pocketbook, my financial and my freedom is starting to show for it. And so I want you to really think about what you are doing right now differently in the month of February. When you're thinking about your business, do you have a list of names somewhere? So this morning, as I was journaling, I just made this big long list of people that popped in my head. I'm like, oh, haven't followed up with that person. Oh, haven't followed up. Oh, that's right. What about that proposal that I sent last year? Didn't follow up with them, right? And then my system is I have a leads folder in my email. As you guys know, I'm very systematic. And so I've got a leads folder in my email. I call it coaching leads and I call it speaking leads because I have got those two pieces in my business. And I'm just going to go back to my folders and reach out. But you want to know what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually call them. I'm going to text them. I might DM them. I'm going to be like, until you say no, because you were interested at one time, I am going to follow through because I can't help a difference in your world unless I do that. And that's what you guys all do. You are in your positions for reason. For a reason. People need you because does anybody know anybody in their industry, and you don't even need to name the industry you're in, that sucks? I do. I do know people in my industry who say they're coaches and they haven't spent $10,000 to get certified. They don't hire a coach. They don't study like I do. I bet you they don't even have sticky notes on a book like this. I know. No, I'm not going to be that arrogant to say that there aren't other great coaches and speakers out there, but I work hard at what I do. And I know that I care about my people. And when they win, I win. It's the same for you. No matter what you're doing, it's the same. So I want you to really think about that. You wrote down your goal. You wrote down either it sucked, you bombed, or maybe you wrote down you were average. Maybe you crushed it. Great. Then if you crushed it, whatever you were doing probably 60 days ago is what caused your January to be crushed. Especially if you're in sales, because we know everything we do today in sales shows up 60 to 90 days later. Okay? We know that. So you can't really equate what you did in January to the maybe the money you made in January if you're in sales. You know your lagging measure, I don't. You know your sales cycle, I don't. This is just where we get to be honest with ourselves. Most likely, though, you're not following up or reaching out as much as you think you are. I guarantee you have people in your database on a sticky note somewhere that you haven't talked to recently. Okay, so again, the prompts are something I really want to do that I haven't shared with enough people. If I were going to be more me in my everyday life, this means in business and personal, I would start to. When I put myself out there and someone makes fun of me, or we think that they do because we're comparing ourselves, right? I'm just going to, what am I going to do? Right? I'm just going to do it. Who cares? A major dream I'm going to start telling people about and asking for some help with is what? Okay. So those are just some prompts. And trust me, the amount of times that I sit down and I say to my husband, honey, I have an idea, or I was thinking, granted, he will then have a big gasp. He's like, oh no, here we go again. What do you want to do now? I'm going to hold off for the month of February because I already just proposed 2 new ideas. So we can't throw up our ideas, but what can you do differently? Okay, let me do a quick check-in, and I'm going to probably give you, oh, we're doing great. I'll give you a little bit of a gift of time. Uh, what did you love about this session the most? Who wants to share? Like, what was your biggest aha? Besides me getting on my soapbox a little bit, like a crazy person. Because I love you guys, though. Do we have any ahas? Go ahead, Michelle.
I love the what will I continue, what will I stop, and what will I start? It just really breaks it down
Yeah,
for me.
beautiful. I try to remember to do that every month. But yes, those that have been in this group for a while, it's a great little check-in at the beginning of each month. Love it. Kelly?
I would say my biggest takeaway for this would be to tell people what you want to accomplish. Like
Mm.
say it out loud so that you actually do it and follow through with it.
Yeah, I love that, Kelly. And you know my story about my husband because when I texted him the podcast, I said, listen, this is important to me. Those were the words I used. I need you to listen to this because it's important to me. And we are going to do this together this year. But I had to tell him that. I didn't have to be like, hey, here's the 75th podcast I've sent you this year. I don't send him anymore because he's not the same as me. And that's okay. He listens to old man radio, like AM something. I'm like, what is that? Who listens to AM radio when they're in the car? All right. Anybody else? Allison.
It was a really great reminder to do follow-ups. And that's actually been like something that I have been like, oh, I should really do that. Like almost like a fear thing Like I just before they make a decision to work with someone else or it just gets too long of a time that they're like, well, no, we're not going to work with you, and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, then today's the day. Like, so
Yeah.
I blocked my calendar off for this afternoon for a lot of those reach outs. And
Yeah, that's so true, Allison. Because we'd be like, oh, and it's like the longer it gets, the more we talk ourselves out of it. We're very, very good salespeople in our brains to ourselves. We literally sell ourselves out of it. But then I always think to myself, I'll just give these lenders as examples. So if one of them, we'll go back to the one where the offer fell apart back in October, I think it was October or November. And let's say he called me and he was like, hey, Kim, this is so and so. I am so sorry. Like, if he really spoke from the heart, right? Like, I cannot believe that I haven't checked in with you or reached back out to you. I am so sorry. How are you and Nick doing? Like, that is on me. I would appreciate that. We're humans, right? And not to say I would work with him. Maybe I would share some with him about, hey, I'm working with somebody else now, and maybe he would take away a lesson. But the point is, I would appreciate that. I really, truly would. So it's actually okay to call and apologize and be like, oh my gosh, it's been forever. I'm so sorry. Most likely in your world, people won't even remember how long it's been. They have no idea. And not only that, remember, you guys are out there. You're putting yourself out there, whether you're networking, whether you're emailing, whether you're mailing, whether you're whatever it is that you're doing, like marketing wise. So to them, you might still be on their mind. It's just they haven't heard your voice. And to them, maybe they feel still connected. So yeah, that's so good because I do the same thing. Like I've got a really, 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 really good lead right now for a speaking event. And I don't think we've talked for like 8 months. And so I don't care. I'm gonna follow up with them this week. But just be like, hey, it's a new year, right? Like you guys, right now, I believe still until maybe the end of February, we can use the new year as an excuse. Like lean on that. It's the new year. Is there anything new you need this year? Like, bam. Okay, beautiful. All right. I need a little video. So let's all just take ourselves off mute and show our faces. And then just do a little like, I'm asking for what I want. See, I'm uncomfortable too. Yay! We'll just take ourselves off mute just so I have a little video and you can be like, bye, this has been amazing. Whatever. Say whatever you want. This sucked. You don't want to, no, don't come back next month. Okay, are we ready? All right. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you,
Bye.
Kim.
Thank you.
thanks, Kat.
Love you guys. Have a great month.
You too.
Bye.